So, Rob, Joe told us that you're not quite cleared to play fully. Like, do you have any kind of sense of how far away you are from that?
Nah, the biggest thing is just conditioning. Me not being out there for a while, dating back to last year, just trying to make sure I'm right when I do get out there. Leading by example.
Seems like it's kind of them holding you back more than anything. Yeah, just in light of last year.
Yeah, but I feel like I trust the staff, PTs, Joe, to a great extent. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of put our heads together and come up with the best plan.
Is it, how would you describe sort of the mental fatigue of coming back from injuries and having to sort of have this conversation with us again and again?
It's tough. Injuries aren't easy for anyone, but it's as soon as as soon as I'm back on the court moving and feeling like my old self, it's like it goes away. I've been through a couple of injuries. I know, the ins and outs of it. And I learned that you can't dwell on it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when you start going the other way. So it's all positivity.
Rob, what are your thoughts on the defensive potential for this team? Obviously, you had Drew. You're obviously a top-flight defensive player. Donovan moving the starting lineup as a lead rim protector. Kind of where do you feel like you guys might be able to do on that side of the ball?
I feel like that's what we hung our head at last year. I feel like we got great players offensively, fast players, but a lot of mistakes happen offensively. I say that to say, on the defensive side, it has to be a place where mistakes are limited. You know what I'm saying? Because we do have the depth, we have the variety of players, so we just got to hold each other accountable.
Since you guys have been playing fives back at the facility, who's really stood out to you? Like, is there one player you say, like, oh, wow, he's added to his game, or I didn't know he could do that type of thing?
Probably Hans, man. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't get to see Hans a lot. So just watching him adapt to the game, watching him pick up a concept when he might not even understand what you're telling him. You know what I'm saying, or what you're saying to him, and his drive to play and learn. For sure, Hans.
What have you been able to do to this point, and do you have a target? Like, you want to be back for the first preseason game or regular season, or what's kind of your mindset with that?
Yeah, so I just been really doing everything that I can do, other than I guess just full out playing. You know what I'm saying? Me and the PT staff came up with a great date for me to come back. I can't share that with y'all, obviously, man. But it's something we working towards, and I think it's going great, man. Like you said, to your question earlier, it get tough getting up here talking about injuries all the time, but once you see that light at the end, it's like, all the anxiety and the frustration going away.
Is that great date in November, or is that great date?
Can't speak on that, man. But
Are you doing just individual work then, or like 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or
So it's a little more than individual. You can guess a lot on it, but all jokes aside, just in a great space, man. Body wise, mentally. These guys do a lot for me too. Seeing the young guys, seeing all the guys get in there and just play, be themselves, pulling the team together. Just trying to stay on that track, man. So when I do get back, I'm helping them.
Rob, not to belabor the injury point, we talked last year about when you returned how good you were feeling in that moment, and to have that setback. How are you able to kind of couch that and keep that positive mentality to not fall into those trappings that you talked about?
Like I said, I feel like I've been through a lot of injuries, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the injury I had the year before, that was you know what I'm saying, that was probably the most devastating injury to me. And I feel like shit light, I keep this motto, walk around the facility, I always say shit is light, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you gotta look at life, you know what I'm saying? This shit light, just another bump in the road, and I'm almost over. So.
What was your reaction to the news that Dame was coming back?
I'm like, hell nah. Is he actually coming back? But to that point, bro, I feel like when Dame had the rally last week, it showed me a different side of, fans in Portland. You know what I'm saying? It showed me, the energy you put in this world. Obviously, I feel like the energy, that's what you're going to get back. And you can tell Dame bought in when he was here, and the people still love him. They thankful for it, and they accepted him back, so it was a great thing to see.
How do you think this defense compares to the other defenses in the West?
I feel like we can compete with anybody. Like I said, just a young, learning team. This is kind of a league where you don't get the luxury of saying we're young anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's on me. It's on older guys like Drew. Jeremy. Everybody to just step in and keep the defense up to par and set the standard.
What do you think separates this team, or will be the separator from a playoff berth?
If you want me to be honest, man, just locking in and believing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe a lot of stuff when you can't see it. When Dame first came back, he sat me down, he talked to me about them going to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? And just the grit that they had, the love for one another to lock in and trust your brother beside you. I think that's the main thing for us, man, just buying in.
You get the sense the guys are bought in?
Yeah, for sure.
Shane Sharp.
That's my dog. Yeah, I'm always on Shay. That's why I had to bring him up. But nah, the young guys have been making me proud. Roops, City, Blake, you know what I'm saying? All the young guys, even the G League guys. But that's part of me answering your question about buying in. I've been seeing them every day, you know what I'm saying, for the past 2 months come in and actually realize, okay, I got a footprint in this game, Scoop, everybody else. So.
You bring up Shea, I imagine just because there's so much potential there, so much more he has to give, yeah.
Nah, he like my little brother, man. That's why I brought up Shay. I'm always on his ass, so he's helping me go into a more vet role, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like I help him.
Who's that guy for you in Boston?
Probably Al Horford and Marcus Morris, for sure. I kind of just watched those guys. Al wasn't really verbal, kind of guy you just watch his everyday moves. You learn about him, he help you out. But Marcus Morris, forever one of my top OGs, taught me the game, taught me how to play the game the right way, be professional. So.
You said Hansen made a lot of big strides and stuff in training camp and whatnot. Is there a team that you're excited for him to play that doesn't understand his game that's probably going to be like, oh?
Everyone. If I'm going to be honest, I seen the highlights and stuff of Summer League, but when I got, back to PDX and watched him, and his ability to think on the fly. His ability to think on the fly is it's different, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's not that many people who can do stuff and they can't even understand what you're saying. We'll yell at him for 2 minutes straight and he'll happen to get it, so it's different. You can see the fight.
What is that communication like with him? Like, when you are yelling at him 2 minutes straight, is Chris Lou coming over and, being a liaison? Give us a sort of what's that scene like?
Yeah, Chris is always there, you know what I'm saying, to help him, especially when, coaches talking and stuff like that. But, sometimes he might not be able to get over to him, and we might have to, hey, look, roll all the way, but he gets it quick, you know what I'm saying? He wants to learn it. That's the most intriguing part about it, so.